queen of the skies. The Boeing 747 revolutionized air travel when it debuted as the world's largest passenger jet in 1969. The first-of-its-kind shape and design of the plane allowed airlines to get creative, offering luxurious amenities such as onboard bars, restaurants, and lounges. Even to this day, the 747 has unique aspects that no other jet has been able to offer, firmly establishing it as the true queen of the skies. Aviation's love affair with the Boeing 747 has been going strong for over 50 years, with the affectionately nicknamed Queen of the Skies turning heads since its first flight in 1969. Still Boeing's largest passenger aircraft to this day. The 747 story began with a request from the head of Pan American World Airways, CEO Juan Trippe, for a larger jet than anything currently in production. Airlines had gotten a taste of the jet age with the Boeing 707 and Douglas DC-8 and wanted more so they could fly passengers further than ever before. Fresh from pitching a similarly massive four-engine plane to the U.S. government, Boeing answered the call. Now famed aerospace engineer Joe Sutter designed the plane, which took its first flight on February 9, 1969 and entered passenger service with Pan Am less than 1 year later. Many of the jet's best features came as a result of its massive size and unique design, including the iconic upper deck, known as the hump, that housed the cockpit and a select few passenger seats. But after decades of faithful service, airlines are giving their 747s heartfelt goodbyes and paying homage to the plane that changed aviation forever, and advanced the industry further than most planes at the time of its inception. Take a look at what made the Boeing 747 a true queen of the skies. The Boeing 747's iconic hump sets it apart from the rest. The hump housed the cockpit on the upper level so that a nose door could be installed for cargo loading, making the 747 an ideal freighter still utilized by cargo airlines today. The nose door was a rare feature for a jet, with few other aircraft offering the feature at the time besides the 747. The excess space of the jumbo jet in the hump and the nose allowed airlines to offer onboard luxuries like bars, lounges, and restaurants. Most were retired in 1973 when the oil crisis dramatically raised the price of fuel and airlines couldn't spare the extra room. But some airlines, like Virgin Atlantic Airways, brought the bars back to the jet. Luckily, the 747 has one of the largest passenger cabins of any commercial aircraft, so there was a lot of open space was to fill with seats to increase revenues. With no more bars and lounges taking up space, the nose section typically features first or business class seating, while the hump primarily houses business class seating, depending on the airline, in an exclusive cabin literally above the rest of the passengers on the main deck. The normal seating capacity for the largest variant of the 747 is around 375, but the jet can hold over 1,000 people if need be. Some airlines used the jet to carry passengers and cargo on the same level. The 747's four engines make it just slightly faster than its competitors. Just before the pandemic hit, a British Airways 747 set a speed record on the New York to London route by making the transatlantic journey in 4 hours and 56 minutes. Some passengers sit ahead of the pilots. The nose section is located directly below the cockpit, with some rows further forward than the cockpit. Sitting in seat 1A is often a bucket list item for aviation enthusiasts. Not only is it at the very front of the plane, but the seat's occupants can actually see ahead of the plane due to the curvature of the nose. So while all the passengers will arrive at their destination airport at the same time, those in 1A will see the runway first. The 747 comes in fun size. Boeing built the 747 SP for Pan Am as the airline desired more range from the iconic aircraft. keeping the same number of engines and building a smaller fuselage. Boeing was able to greatly extend the range of the 747, allowing for longer non-stop flights. NASA's Space Shuttle flew on the 747. Space Shuttle Endeavour performed a 3-day tour of the U.S. strapped to the back of a 747 in 2012 following the end of the Space Shuttle program. The flying duo showcased some of the greatest American feats of aerospace engineering. NASA also relies on the 747 for its SOFIA, or Stratospheric Observatory for Infrared Astronomy, program. The 747 has outlasted its double-decker competitors, namely the Airbus A380. Airbus' largest passenger jet took to the skies over 30 years after the 747's first flight, and still failed to surpass the American jet in popularity and success. The final A380 fuselage was just trucked to the Airbus factory in Toulouse, France, marking the end stages of the program. Emirates will receive the last plane, with the Middle Eastern mega airline the only one keeping the program going. The most iconic Boeing 747 is flown by the President of the United States. The U.S. Air Force has 2 of the VC-25A aircraft, the codename for the service branch's 747s, that solely fly the President and his staff. The current planes are based on the aging Boeing 747-200 airliner, which most airlines have retired. It's the most recognizable plane in the world and arguably America's greatest aerial ambassador. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.